to enable them regulate money supply, you still have enough to lend. That's what you call loanable fund theory. In Nigeria, the loanable amount of fund in the Nigerian system is very poor. And adding to the CRR, you also have to provide liquidity ratio requirement, NDIC premium, and all of that. So that increases the cost. Beyond what you see, 7%, and what banks loan at 28%, there's a lot of cost in between. I'm not here talking about operational cost. Banks having to run generators the whole day and all of that, other costs of running. So naturally, interest rate in Nigeria can never come down the way it is if you allow a free market setting of interest rates. So what we need to do is, while we are fighting inflation, what can we do to bring this CRR down? Of course, TSA has helped in trying to mop up this, the alleged, high liquidity once government spends. So if we have dealt with TSA, then we should now freely allow banks to hold loanable funds. They can lend out at a cheaper rate. Yeah. If you look at Kenya, the argument in Kenya now is, how can they cap lending rate? Why I'm not going to be supporting capping of lending rate, because that's not supportive of free market decision. We need to take decisive actions in this economy to see how we can encourage banks to lend at a lower rate, including helping them by reducing the amount of money they push to CBN, and then the reserve requirements and all of those. If that is done, we can begin to see lower rate. But then, funds are also available in this economy at cheap rates. CBN has had several intervention funds giving at below 10%. Why are they not being made available to these investors? That's what should bother us too. Why these funds are available, by whatever combination of issues, banks don't find these on-lending facilities attractive or worth their time in trying to work with CBN to get these monies trickle down to SMEs. And the process of course, if you are going to even partner with CBN on those on-lending facilities, the lender takes credit risk. And then the fact that people are coming to take this money and they believe in their heads, the poor attitude to borrowing in Nigeria, that this money is government money, that's part of their own national cake. Right. All right, we don't get it right. So it all comes down to human capital issue that both Tope and Doto has mentioned here. We have lack of quality training, quality attitude and understanding of entrepreneurship. So the money is important, but if you don't have clear ideas, if you don't have the discipline to pay back your debt when you borrow from a bank, you can't get loaning, and even banks will shy away from lending more. So we are in a very vicious cycle. The capital can sometimes be available, but it doesn't get to those who need them. There's a total absence of venture capitalists in this economy, and the central bank expects, or the government expects, private commercial banks to play the role of venture capitalists in the economy, while the private commercial banks expect government to initiate venture capitalists. You have many professors, many young people who have brought up ideas, great ideas. We even saw one in Delta who was tickling with flying plane. These are ideas, you can groom them. And that brings me to the last point I want to make before I pause. Training and development is a major issue in Nigeria. If you look at the GCI, the Global Competitiveness Index that was done last year, you see a correlation between countries that value human capital, training and development. You see that linked to economic growth and development. In Nigeria, it's a good place. University training. Hold on.
You will finish that. We're back in a moment. Don't go away. Thank you.
Okay, it's our home stretch on this segment of the program, and in a few minutes, let me start with. Yes, you were trying to land on your point before we round off that.
Ultimately, in agreement with Doto and Tope on this issue, whether it's capital or whether it's manpower and all of that, human capital, it's critical. In fact, in every economy, capital, that's money. Technology, and very importantly, human capital is important. Right from the political, system in this country, we need quality leaders. We need people who understand entrepreneurship. We need people who understand team building and teamwork. We need leaders who can galvanize the, enormous potential we have in this economy. We need a strong handshake between our academic system, our universities, and our industry. We need a strong handshake between that. We need people who are well motivated, who are clearly, who are clear about their purpose, and who will, when they take a loan, they know what they want to do with it. And we have to stop.
Now, on the final note, just as what he has said, education. That's a long-term solution to all this problem we have. Education, education, education. Because to be candid, what they are teaching in university, I've always been saying it, and I keep saying it over and over again, it's not realistic out there. Do you understand? Because we're talking about ideas these days. The idea that you can't just see, ideas should just come as a result of I don't have a job to do. You understand? You should grow with it. Entrepreneurs are born, not just agents of circumstances. So if you have entrepreneurs trained in the university, even if you are studying medicine, what is the entrepreneur aspect of medicine? Entrepreneur aspect of law, for instance. So the way we go to the university is okay, I want to study this, I want to study that, is alarming. Because number one, there are so many softwares these days. I even read even medical doctors, lawyers are jobless on a daily basis. So what we can say, well, in agreement with what I said, is education. Let us build the human capacity. So if the human capacity is built there, the ideas will be there, then funding it becomes uneasy.
Okay.
The money will not be disappearing.
We hope you can keep yours very short as you give us your closing statement.
Well, basically to say that in agreement with the two gentlemen in the studio, it's the same thing. What Nigeria needs to think about now is innovation, and every aspect of our lives and everything that we do. Of course, government can initiate this, but the private sector can also do that. We need to innovate. Recently, we heard about $50 million worth of ugu leaves or something like that being exported abroad from Anambra State, even though some people said it is not true. But what concerned me about that is we should take our minds off. Of course, if we're doing that on the side, you can walk and chew gum at the same time. So, however, we should think about adding value to everything that we do along the line. Africa hasn't been very good in this area, and however, we are now living in a world where the things we need from abroad cost far, far more than what we produce and sell. So we need to think in terms of innovation, in terms of sustainability. The diversification of this economy is not about pigeonholing the economy into agriculture or solid mineral. It's about ensuring that for every 100 naira that we spend as Nigerians, 95 naira out of it will go into Nigerian products. That's what the government should really think about. In which case, when they begin to think about that, they think in terms of tourism, they think in terms of security. The problem with Nigeria is a polynomial equation. It's not a linear equation. It involves a whole lot of things, and we must actually develop that ability to think.
Thank you so much, Tokpe. Tokpe Fashua is an economist. He joins us from our Abuja studio. And of course, we've been speaking with the management consultant and policy analyst, Mr. Oji Udemizwe. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you.
And the economic analyst, Oladotuma Binuri, thank you also for being here and sharing your thoughts on this very, very important
Before
issue.
they go, I'd like to read this tweet because it says, Civil Obitulata, I hope I got that well, says, as long as people in public service make more easy money than people in genuine businesses, Nigeria will never progress.
Nigeria will progress.
The political space must be made available for young, dynamic Nigerians to play in. Until we do that and stop money back politics, this problem will continue with us.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for coming. We'll just take a quick break and